Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Antonio Wildcat. You guys, most of you live in the United States. Most of my viewers live there. I love the United States. Glacier National Park in Montana. Niagara Falls in New York. The list goes on and on. I think my favorite is Yellowstone. I used to live right around there. Look, I'm not just here to discuss what you already know. We're here for solutions. One solution is to bug out. No more. But a lot of you guys, I gotta hand it to you, you're fighting a battle that quite frankly a lot of us just can't handle doing. How are you gonna fight the government? Not necessarily the government itself, but the forces behind it. Well, it's like a beast, and with any beast, you just starve it, and it will go away. And that sounds like quite an easy answer, but I can go into more detail. But boy, like usual with us YouTubers, we look at the latest news. What's going on in the news, right? It's like, and I'm being sarcastic here. What's the new stupid thing in the news now, right? It was COVID-19, so you go in the store, you little retarded face mask, and clean your hand with some alcohol, and that useless face mask which will allow anything to go through it and out of it. Oh, you can come through. But then they close your businesses. They close your very livelihood. Where do they close? Athletic clubs? But then they let, like, all the fast food joints stay open? Because they're necessary. When are you and your job and your business and your beliefs going to be counted unnecessary? According to the Patriot Act, us Christians are considered terrorists because of our strong belief in a higher God. Let that sink in. Well, let's see here. How am I doing? Most people say, how you doing? Okay. I've been better, but I've also been worse. I'm down to my last, oh my goodness. I thought I had more, but this is like a Mexican currency, 20 pesos at a dollar, about. So I'm down to my dollar. So that might be horrible, but I'm a optimist. So instead of going, woe is me, make a video about living off of those plants that look unedible outside. Wait for a video on that. Not just because I have to, but I might as well make a video of it. By the way, it takes money to charge my phone and to have internet, so maybe one of my friends around here will let me use their internet. It's okay. I also know that a lot of people could be helping their neighbor, besides me. Treat each other, or treat others as you would like to be treated, says the Holy Bible. Yeah, Paul says something along the lines of how the things he would, he cannot, and the things he would not, yet he does. Because of this flesh. You need to put your body into subjection. And one way of doing that is fasting. One difference between the King James Bible and the New Living Translation and all the other ones after that is this. In the King James Bible, and this is only one little spot, I can read it from there if you want, but it says, this kind of spirit only comes out through prayer and fasting. Prayer and fasting. Remember, Jesus fasted 40 days and nights. It's hard enough to do that for an hour. Isn't that right? So, the spirit can see when you're serious. The evil spirits is like, oh, that guy's actually a Christian. Oh, okay, I'm going. But, evil spirits can tell when you're faking it. When you're just going to church and praying and then going to be like everyone else. But, with your nice clothes on, but inside you're filthy. So, it's an analogy. And also for non-Christians, too, you have to put your body into subjection. For real in these days. Because as preppers, you know that the food can run out. The money can run out. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, I have many baskets, but no eggs, hardly. Except for out in the wild, in those hills. There are cactus patties and berries. So, we're going to probably be having a lot of cactus patties and berries. And there's no way that I'm going to leave this cabin and give up and go back to living with the man. Saying, yes, sir, no, sir. Have you ever noticed? Have you, any of you, ever had a boss that didn't know what the bad word he's saying, and he's telling you to do that thing? And you're like, okay, but I could really just do it really good. Like, I already know how to do this. Well, that's kind of like paying taxes on a job. You're working for somebody else. He's paying you so you can pay taxes. So you can buy products and pay taxes on those products. And then your money can inflate so it has less value. And then Mr. Officer can pull you over for being suspicious, or because you went a mile an hour over the speed limit, or you did a California stop by accident, and so you're just being sucked dry. I know people that pay more than $4,000 per month in rent. It's not their house. That's injustice. Let's talk about how to fix that injustice instead of just accepting it. There's a lot of analogies I can make about things that you would never accept. And why would anyone accept it? How do you fix it? Here, south of the border, where people get paid terribly. One of the first stories I heard was, of course, over the border, south of the border in Chihuahua. In Delicias, Chihuahua. That was after we got shook down by some fake cartel police. But anyway, I asked him, well, how much do you make a month? And he said, well, on average, like $200 US. Now, mind you, he was a laborer. So, I mean, really, you have to be smart and make your investments on the internet. There are some very rich people here in all of Mexico. I've seen lots of Mercedes, new ones, brand new, driving around. You know, those weird like F650 giant pickups driving around. And so you don't have to be a day laborer here. Although, if you speak English, I'm sure you can get paid well in Mexico. But that's neither here nor there, because we're preppers. And no matter where you live in the world, US, Canada, Mexico, Chile, Europe, Germany, France, wherever, you live in a corrupt government system that the government doesn't even function right. How do you fix that? I don't know if you guys remember Schaefer Cox. I ought to make a documentary all about Schaefer Cox. Who is Schaefer Cox? Well, he was a very good young man. A very good young man who's in prison now, and I don't even know how they put him in prison. Oftentimes, they'll make up something against you, or they'll find some weird, obscure law that you broke and give you the maximum penalty to put you in prison to get rid of you. But Schaefer Cox wanted to fix things. I sometimes wonder if I'm going to end up in prison. You know, the U.S. government has a long arm. They can arrest anybody, anytime, anywhere. So, you know, who knows? It's worth it. I'll tell you what. I feared for my life when I was going through Chihuahua and they were shaking me, and I thought I was going to be shot dead. I just accepted it because it's like, I have no way to defend myself. Well, actually, I did, but I didn't want to have a shootout. That's stupid. So basically, it's like, you know, here I come. Please, Jesus, accept me. I mean, at some point, it's like, this is where I'm going to die. But I'm still here, thank God. God has a purpose for me, I suppose. If I don't make 1 penny on YouTube or Rumble or Patreon or whatever, I hope I can at least reach one of you and say, hey, this BS you're seeing on the news is baloney. Just telling you one side of the story. Gosh, just about everything they teach you is baloney, like the war on drugs. Have you ever talked to a drug addict, especially a recovered drug addict, and really get to know them? They always tell you, oh, I'm so glad I went off of those drugs, right? Well, what got them started? They had something wrong before. That drug temporarily fixed their mental or physical issue. So for the rest of their life, whatever, they have that issue. So the war on drugs is baloney. It's a war on people. It's not a war on drugs. What a stupid name, by the way. Who came up with that? The war on drugs. The war on terrorism. Terrorism is caused by desperate people. I mean, come on. Who would be stupid enough? No, not stupid. Crazy enough to employ a suicidal mission. It's not for Allah. As they say, they're desperate to save their people. From what? Well, our U.S. government is not what it used to be. Even like 25 years ago, 30 years ago, you walk up to a cop, a young man, and talk with that man. He might have been having a bad day, and he would still talk to you. Me tell you how things are going, say, hey, you want to ride along? But no. Now it's militarized. It's like, what do you want? That's the world we live in. How do you fix it? For one thing, I've noticed, there's been many YouTubers, many preppers, many activists in the comment areas like, so, does anybody want to contact me? I live in such and such a place, back when I lived in Montana, where it really is actually pretty safe to live, because people stick up for each other there. There is still a sense of liberty. But no, the response is pretty much nothing. You get one guy saying, that's it, brother, but where's the solution? Thanks for agreeing, but how do we come together? Otherwise, enjoy it. Enjoy the show. You're still going to be a slave because you're not coming together. I'll tell you what, I have patience. But let me tell you, most people, they're always late and they're always $1 short, and I don't have time for that. So I'll give it to you this way, short and simple. We need to come together I need to say it a million times, name by name by name, by phone number, by email address, all of it. Get together and peacefully solve the problem behind a government that wants you to be controlled. Peacefully changed. And no, it's not voting, it's basically changing the whole gambit. And I just don't see people doing it. Because in the end of the day, people like to sleep. A little too much. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Montana Wildcat. Thank you so much for watching. Can't thank you enough.